There's gotta be a better way for me to get all the wither skelly heads that I need. I mean, there's gotta be, right? Hey there everyone, my name is GamePart and welcome back to another episode on the InfinityCraft server, coming at you today from the outside of the kelp farm you can see behind me, also the spawn region, the banner shop, the obsidian void shop. That's kind of, I've been in between all of this stuff because I'm going to build something in today's episode that I have never tried doing before. I don't know if you can get kind of a hint about what I'm doing based on what I'm wearing, but yes, there is a wither skeleton skull sitting on my head. I am wearing it like a trophy, like a hat. And today we are going to build for ourselves a scale replica model of a wither skeleton. And we are going to create a bit of a store inside the skull of that wither skeleton. And now this is just going to be a temporary thing. It's not going to be here forever. It is here to serve one purpose and one purpose alone. You see, we need beacons. And in order to get beacons, you need nether stars. And in order to get nether stars, you need to kill the wither. And in order to kill the wither, you need to make the wither. In order to make the wither, you need wither skelly skulls. And wow, that was a long process to get to my point. But we need a ridiculous number of wither skeleton heads. And I was thinking that I could spend hours and hours and hours grinding wither skeleton skulls myself, or I could make use of the unique feature of playing on the InfinityCraft server, that being that there are other amazing players here on the InfinityCraft server too, who could help me out. So I thought, well, let's build a little bit of a reverse store where I am buying wither skeleton skulls from the other players. And I thought, well, if I make a wither skeleton head, that would be a great store front. Then I thought, well, what am I going to put the wither skeleton head on? It would kind of look a little ridiculous just sitting on the ground. Why not build the wither skeleton itself? That's right. It's getting a little hard to breathe in this head. I'm just gonna go ahead and take that off. There, I can breathe better. It's a little stinky inside the skull of another undead creature, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but I'm going to give it my best effort. And then we are going to turn around and buy wither skeleton skulls from the other InfinityCraft members. And they'll be able to make a little bit of cha-ching off me in doing that. I was thinking, you know, somebody would make a lot of money off me if they sold them on the server. Then I thought, well, why not just make a shop myself and buy them from the others? So that's what we're doing. Let's get started. So on another screen, I've got some pictures I've pulled up off Google on how these wither skeletons look. And so I'm going to attempt to build one basically from that. So let's start out with some, let's see, black concrete and dark gray concrete. And we're going to start building the feet. Now, from what I can tell, the feet, they just kind of have some random, you know, spots of gray in them. And so we're going to kind of just do this randomly, I think. But this is going to be 12 blocks high on the legs. So I'm going to do 2 legs, 2 by 2, 12 high to start with 2 by 2 block in between. So I've got 2 legs up here, and originally I was thinking I was gonna bubble elevator up through the middle to get into the head of this wither skeleton, but there's no real good, because it's like 2 by 2 by 2, 2 by 2, 2 by 2. There's no real good location for me to put a bubble elevator up to the top, so maybe I'm just gonna have to have my stored down here, and maybe I'll just have to have like a shulker box, a couple shulker boxes down here where players can trade rather than going up into it, and then the statue will just kind of be the statement, I guess. the drawing factor to my little shop where they'll discover that they can make their riches in diamonds. I think that's probably what we're going to have to do, because I don't really know how players really would get up there unless they're going to elytra in, and I can't expect all the players to elytra in. So next I need to do the pelvis. Also, I need to go get some concrete. I wonder where I'm going to do that. Where can I get concrete on this server? I don't know. Alright, so I think essentially I've got the pelvis of this thing down. Next, I believe I need to do a 2x2 spine up this thing, but I'm going to need to go back to my reference material and just see what that looks like. So what I can tell from the reference material is that it is going up the center back here, kind of like this, and the spine is essentially, oh, I'm missing a block here, almost fell right in there. The spine is going to go up 10 blocks high, and it's just a mix of the black and the gray, and then there's a bit of a rib cage, and that's going to be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to get this spine in place, and then we'll probably work on the head. Get the head on, and then work on the rib cage and arms, and of course the stone sword that's going to be going along with this. So yeah, I know this is a lot of effort just to get some wither skeleton skulls, but less effort than actually going out and grinding it myself. So I was having a little bit of trouble getting a good view of the rib cage from the online reference material. So what I actually did was I went and loaded a wither skeleton into my single player test world so that I could get a better look at it. Yeah, so I am, oh, ouch, ouch. That's not smart. I'm going to be able to go back and forth to that world and check out the wither skeleton that I spawned, and kind of just do a back and forth until I kind of get it right. But the front of the chest is going to be a bit of a challenge. Also, they're not fully square pixels. Because they're entities. They don't have complete pixel areas. It's just like one side, and bits of them disappear depending on where you're looking at them. So for the chest, let's get that there. 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna start building the rib cage like this. So 3 out. Oh, I'm gonna die building this thing. I just know it. Okay, coming in for a gentle landing. There we go. Ha! Just made it. Okay. So the rib cage is 3 out and 4 across. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I need to do that on that level and that level too. So I've got a single player world open up on another computer here, so I've got this right in front of my face. So we are going to do 2 in like this, then we are going to do 1, let me get my dark, oh, that's powder, I need this, 1, 2, 3, same thing over here, not there, that's not right, 1, 2, 3, okay, then we're gonna go, oh, the guy just turned away from me in my single player world, which you can't see. Then we're gonna go all the way across, and actually, I want to get this looking fairly close, so I'm gonna change up this block for this block, and this block for this block, and that will look a little bit better. I'm gonna do 2 black. I'm gonna do a gray and 2 black here. And I'm just basically gonna follow the pattern that I'm seeing on my screen. I'm just gonna bring you back when I've got this whole front section done. So here is our chest of the wither skeleton so far, and it's looking fairly close to what I'm seeing on the screen. I mean, the colors are a little off, but it's really hard to reproduce some of the colors here in Minecraft. So the next thing I'm going to do is create the arms, and I'm going to have the arms go straight out as if it's attacking a player. Plus, I also think that it'll look a little bit better with the arms outstretched and the sword is straight up. So that's my next job. Well, one of the arms is in place. This is the one that's going to be holding the sword. I've got to get the other one in place, but I want to see what this looks like from above here somewhere. So we've been having some server issues tonight, and Elytra just haven't quite been working properly, but yeah, it's... Let's get on top of the banner shop here and see if we can have a good look at what's going on here. Yeah, I think it's starting to shape up pretty nicely. Yeah. Just a little worried about what we're gonna do for the skull, but yeah, it's shaping up quite nicely, I think. So I think that does it for the second arm, and I'm just gonna get above it here a little bit, and let's just go out here a little bit with the scaffolding, and yeah, there we go. So the last thing to do as far as the skeleton itself is concerned is the skull. But there's much more color variation in the skull because I need a really, really dark mouth and eyes. So maybe I should go get some coal blocks to act as the black, just so that I can then get the really, really dark face with the concrete. Alright, coal blocks are in my inventory. Let's see if I can land on top of this thing. There we go. And I'm curious how this is going to differ from the black concrete. Let's just do some of this movement here. Now, if I'm looking at my little guy that I've got here on my screen, the head is as wide as the body is. And just hold on for a moment while I look at my guy here, and his head comes out 2 blocks in front of his chest. So I want... Oh yeah, that's gonna be what we need. So we're gonna do this with a few... Oh, I don't want to fall. Oh, that's the wrong kind of block. I want the dark gray hardened concrete. There we go. And give me a moment while I check the color scheme here. Well, I think we can get away with just doing mostly the... Oh, I'm falling. Let's fly up and get hurt. There we go. So I think we can get away with mostly the coal blocks along here, just with like 1 or 2 of these gray concrete blocks in here, just to give it that little bit of color, different, whatever that word is I'm looking for. Also, the bottom of the skull, I noticed, is open, so we don't have to put any bottom in here. Now, the second layer, 2 blocks in, we're going to take our black concrete and do 4 like this. Then we're going to take our coal. We're going to do this. And then my guy on my other computer keeps turning away from me. Let's see. Where is... So we have... You can just barely see it there. So on there and there. There and there are the eyes. And then we're going to fill the rest of this in with mostly... Actually, that comes above. There's a bit of a lighter line above the eye here, but most of it is going to be filled in with the coal here. Kind of like that. I'm 2 blocks up, and I've got 2 more blocks high to... No, I'm not. I'm only 1 block up. So I'm going to do another layer of coal. Then, from what I'm seeing, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's a dark bit right at the top of his head. So I'm just going to put that in with the black concrete, and the rest of this is going to be coal blocks. I'm really curious to see what this face looks like from over here. So let's land on top of this building here, take a quick look, and that's pretty cool. Can I get higher up here? No, I can't. Or hop. Oh no, I can't. Oh well. But yeah, that's kind of looking cool. Let's do a little bit of a fly around. And yeah, okay, so you can definitely tell what it's supposed to be. Let's land. I wanted to land on there. I'm not doing well with the elytra tonight. I think it's got to do with server issues, but that's... I can't verify that, so... Yeah, well, I think that it's looking pretty cool. Alright, I'm gonna get the rest of the skull kind of filled in, and from what I can tell, it's kind of stripy going back, light, dark, going up with it, getting darker on the back. So let me sleep and get that in there. Just on the inside of the face here, I've just created a little bit of a platform so I can get a little bit of work done, and I've added some black concrete powder to the palette here just to give it a little bit more of that texture. And I might need to add a little bit of the black concrete powder and some of the coal to the rest of the black areas, just to give it a little bit more of that texture as we go along. It's turning out quite nicely though, so I've just created a bit of a dirt pillar platform that I'll get rid of after, just so I can kind of get the rest of the work on the skull done without falling all over the place. And there we go, our wither skeleton is complete. I think that it looks fairly decent. Let's just get up into the air and see how it looks all the way around. A little bit of detailing on the sides of his head there, and he's just got that nice little face on the front. And yeah, the next thing that we have to do is get the sword in his hand. So that is my next task, and I'm gonna go take a look to see just exactly what the sword looks like broken down into pixels. One of the issues that I'm going to run into here is that, one, it's a 2 block wide, so I'm not sure how he's going to hold the sword, but 2, the sword has to be on an angle for it to work in an actual reproduction because of the way the image has been created. But I think we're just kind of gonna go for it and kind of put it here on the tip of his hand. And I'm gonna just I've got an image of the sword open, and I'm gonna try to recreate it block by block here. Is not the right spot for that. That would be the right spot. If you're not able to fly, like with a jetpack or fly commands, this kind of building is really quite tough because you have to get blocks in underneath where you just can't get blocks in. So just having to scaffold up here and kind of do it this way. This is going to create a huge mess, but I don't think there's any other way for me to do this. Ah, almost fell off. Okay. I need a vantage point out here to see what I'm doing. Yeah, let's create this scaffolding here. I'm so glad that rain doesn't turn concrete powder into concrete. That's so handy. There we go, we've got the handle of the sword done. Next we need to do the blade, and for the blade I'm going to use a combination of light gray concrete and stone. I'm going to use stone on the middle and the light gray concrete on the edges of the blade, and then the surrounding of the blade is going to be the dark gray concrete, and it should look quite similar to a stone sword here. Well, that's the hardest part done, the outside of it. I can pillar up here, and I can basically just walk my way down here now. Assuming I don't run out of this dark gray concrete. So that is the top part of the sword. I just need to do the handle portion underneath of it now, which part of it's going to be hidden because he is actually holding it. So I'm going to need to tear this scaffolding down and work my way up the other side for that portion. So as you're looking at this, there should be part of a handle that goes here, and I don't have the right color of blocks for this because I'm going to need to put a brown piece there, and then brown, and then the handle's going to go underneath here. The handle I can do, I think. So let me get down by a block. So brown, handle, and I think I want to go darker than this. Actually, no, I need to do the same color. So let's actually. Oh, I'm falling. I'm going to replace these black blocks on his arm with some coal. Just like, I can't reach, and I put that in the wrong spot. I can't see what I'm doing here. It's too dark. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. I'm going to do the bottom, so I wish it was not raining. 1, 2, I think this is where it goes. It's so hard to see because of the rain. So that's brown, but you can't see it because it's in his hand and here. So this is where the butt of the handle starts. So we're gonna put a block there. Also, I'm looking at this at a different perspective from what the image is. So it's a little tricky here. But block. Let's get some more dirt out here. Get a little closer. Essentially, I'm doing a square. A little more scaffolding. Like this and like this. And that's going to be brown. And so that's going to be the bottom part of the butt of the sword. I'm going to put a brown block in there, brown block in there, and then that should do it, because the rest of it is in his hand. Let me go get some brown blocks and I'll be back. I'm completely off here. I am completely off where that was supposed to be. With the rain and the black, it's so hard to see. The brown should be right here. Not there. Boy, oh boy, is this tricky. 1, 2, the brown should be here. which means the gray should go here. Yeah, that's the way it should be. And that is the sword in the Wither Skelly's hand. All done. Alright, my last task is just to get rid of the last of this dirt, and then we're going to set up our little reverse shop down there on the bottom. Alright, we've got one of our GamePart Industries pillars up here to explain exactly what's going on here, and it says GamePart Industries Diamonds for Wither Skelly's Skull. Now here's the deal. GamePart will give 1 diamond block. That's right. 1 diamond block. Not a diamond. A diamond block. For each skull you provide. And in this shulker box, I have a whole shulker box full of diamond blocks. So when an InfinityCraft member needs some diamonds, they can go and they can harvest some Wither Skelly skulls. They can bring it right here, trade it up for a diamond block. It's just that simple. So they'll take their Wither Skelly skull and just trade it up. Diamond block, Wither Skelly skull. I think that is a really good deal. So any InfinityCraft members watching this, if you're poor and you need some diamonds, I'm here to help. Just go get some of those Wither Skelly skulls, bring them to the giant Wither skeleton, and trade them up for some nice shiny diamonds. So I think we've been fairly productive in this episode today, but I want to quickly come back over here and show you some of the work I've been doing off camera in the dugout area down here. I have been very busy grinding out organically sourced gold and iron, and I've laid this all down so I can now come along here, replace these torches with the beacons. Now, one of the reasons why I've developed this whole shop thing is because, well, I mentioned before that to do the full perimeter here it takes 44 beacons, but I actually want to put beacons on this second layer as well, so that there aren't these gaps that you can see through. So all these other beacons are going to kind of fill in those gaps, and who knows, we might just fill this whole thing with beacons. Then we can really play with the color scheme. I think that's going to be really, really cool. It's just going to take forever to get all those beacons, and it'll be something that we add as we go along. But hopefully with the new store, the InfinityCraft members will definitely help out in providing the skulls we need in order to make all of these beacons. So I think that's coming along pretty good. I'm going to get up out of here just because these beacons are making an awful racket here. Yeah, they're just making an awful... Oh, that looks so cool. That just looks really awesome. So now we've got... Oh, we've got a lot of mobs coming along here. Let me just sleep the night away quickly for you. As I was saying, we've got a phantom dragon going on here. Now we've got a wither skeleton. I think that this is kind of looking really cool. Oh, I want to show you this over here too before we finish off today's episode. I saw this during the last episode, and I almost came down here to investigate it, and I thought, oh wait, no, this is going to be a spoiler. I knew immediately what this was. This is definitely going to be a silver platinum store for slime. So yeah, it's a slime shop, and there's silver is selling 32 slime blocks for 1 diamond. I don't have a use for them at the moment, but if we have a need for slime blocks, there is a really interesting little shop to go and get them now. I think that looks really cool. Well, I'm kind of really liking this. I was actually really nervous to build this because I haven't done anything like this before. This is completely outside of my comfort zone as far as builds are concerned, so I was a little concerned, but I think it's turned out really, really well, and hopefully this will be a really cool way of getting the beacons that we need. But that is all the time that I have for this episode. I hope that you've really enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or haven't done so yet, why don't you hit that subscribe button today and make me a very happy GamePar. As always, take a moment, check out the channels of the other InfinityCraft members. Really worth your time in doing that. The links are in the description below, and you can check those out. Also, I have a modeling channel. Go check that out. There is an update there for you to watch on my Enterprise E project. Go over to that channel. Again, link is going to be down in the description. But for now, this has been GamePar playing on the InfinityCraft server. Have a great day, everyone.